The queen is back under its shade. I'm back home. This is actually the first time where I'm going to start the video with the ending. But so basically in this video, you guys are going to see a trip that I had been planning since March, and we hadn't taken a vacation since about almost 4 years ago. So we're gonna relive that same trip from 4 years ago, but this time it actually went well. So if you watch the video, you'll see exactly why the first one wasn't all that great and why it took us 4 years to finally take a vacation. But now that I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have a lot of footage for you guys. I have a lot of stuff to edit from all the cars. So, and I just went to go get a brand new tank of argon. Gonna be welding up the exhaust, installing it on my wife's Supra, and it's time to get busy. So these next year or two, however long I can go for it, it's gonna be very, very busy. I'm gonna, you know, give you guys content every single week, hopefully. But enjoy the video. What's up, little guy? You really don't want to be in it, huh? Alright, so while I finish my drink here, figured it's be a good time for story time. So how long
Story with Boosted.
Story time with Boosted. So this is not the first time that we've been at this exact place. Basically, we were in this very room, this very same room, and the last time we were here
in 2017.
17?
Mm-hmm.
So 3.5 years ago. Damn.
2017.
Okay, so 3.5 years ago. So it was the second or the third pregnancy.
Third.
Okay, and basically that trip that because we had never traveled out of Texas, and we were all you know, Texas or Mexico. That's the only places we had gone to. And we decided to finally take a trip because we had already gone through a few of those pregnancy losses, and we wanted just to relax our minds. But unfortunately, that trip was, you know, not what we expected. While we were here, you know, she was pregnant, and
we had just found out.
We had just found out that she was pregnant while we were here. Her grandma passed away. I have one of my dogs that I've had for what, 6-7 years passed away.
The same day my grandma passed away.
The same day that her grandma passed away, my dog passed away. I'm guessing God wanted her to have a little buddy up, you know, up there,
Following her up
you know,
to heaven.
little friend. And then whenever after this vacation, you know, we got home, and then the whole pregnancy started going south. 3.5 years later, we decided to take another trip, and we wanted to get this same room, basically to try and, you know, not cover but just replace the bad memories that we had here with some good memories. And obviously we can have good memories now since our little baby's here. Ain't you right, Papa? So, you know, I think that's one of the most important things in life is don't let your bad memories and your bad situations define you. You know, make sure, I mean, of course you're gonna go through some really bad times, but eventually you'll get to the point where you can make new memories, hopefully to replace those bad experiences. But yeah, being here is a very, it's surreal, because the last time we were here, it was, I mean, that was a hard week.
It was.
That was a very difficult week. And you know, going back home, I think that's whenever everything started to get really difficult in life. I think for me, that's probably whenever I started, I don't know if it was depression that I was feeling, but everything just wasn't working out. And the harder you try to move forward, the harder it becomes. I mean, to some people, they might see your life and they're like, oh, he has the best life ever. But remember, what you see on social media, on people's Instagram accounts, their YouTube channels, there's a lot more behind the scenes.
A lot more.
A lot more.
Should we tell them about?
Yeah, no, we can talk about that. So I guess for those who are interested, we can maybe give a little bit more detail on the pregnancies that we went through. So our first pregnancy was a miscarriage.
13-week miscarriage. 12 week, 12, 13 weeks.
About
miscarriage.
12, 13 weeks, and we went through a miscarriage.
On my birthday.
On her birthday. So yeah.
That was hard.
That was hard. The second pregnancy was a
bit more difficult. I mean, a bit
that
more.
That one was an ectopic pregnancy. I'm not, for those who don't know, basically whenever a female gets pregnant, the egg travels through the fallopian tube and implants in the uterus, right? Yes. Is that how that works? So the egg got stuck in the tube, and she had already been feeling pain, but we didn't know what it was until she ended up in the hospital by emergency. I mean, that was probably the toughest loss, because not only did we lose her pregnancy, I almost lost her. She was, God, that was a shitty one.
I was almost 16 weeks pregnant.
16 weeks pregnant, and
an ectopic pregnancy, and I had been bleeding into my stomach for weeks already.
Yeah.
That's why my stomach was distended, remember?
Yeah, she had internal bleeding for weeks, and
what they tell you, I was a miracle of the one?
Yeah, the fact that she was able to sustain so much pain and, you know, keep on going. I mean, that's crazy, because that day that she ended up in the hospital, she got up and went to work at 7 in the morning.
5.
At 5 in the morning. I don't understand. But thankfully, you know, she was okay. The only downside is that she did have to get surgery, and she had one of her fallopian tubes removed. So basically, she has one working side. So
That just lowers our risks,
you know, that
now, in a way, because.
Okay, I mean, I guess, like I always tell you guys, there is a positive and a negative to everything. It's just hard to see it that way. But the negative is that she only has one working side. You know, so your chances of getting pregnant are much more difficult. The positive, yeah, there is less, half of that chance of that issue happening again. It's hard to see it that way, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess now that we have our baby, it's a little bit easier to talk about that. But so, you know, she had the surgery, then we ended up waiting for quite a bit, and the third time we got pregnant was the time we ended up here.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a
Partial
molar pregnancy. So basically something happens in the genetic composition whenever the baby's forming, and just something doesn't go right. And so that one, you have to go into the doctor, you have to schedule a DNC. And that's just basically when they take everything out.
Yes, from the 3rd to the 4th we waited about 8-9 months. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so we waited, and then we got pregnant for the 4th time, and that one also,
it was considered
that was a full molar pregnancy, which was basically
almost the same thing.
Almost the same as a partial molar, but basically as soon as the baby starts to
something in the genetics
in the genetics went wrong, and it's just, I don't know, look into it. Partial and full molar pregnancy.
It started turning into like a little tumor with the heartbeat.
There you go. That's scary too, and think about it. So after that, we had already about 4 years of bad luck, and all the doctors not knowing what to tell us.
And went to Mexico.
Oh yeah, and then she went to Mexico to see some doctors. I stayed here. Gotta pay the bills. Not here, but in Texas. And so we ended up waiting a little bit longer. We waited about a year. About a year before we decided to give it another shot.
A little bit over a year.
I think it was over a year, right?
Over a year.
And at this point, I think we're both pretty much traumatized by the whole possibilities of something going wrong, and I think we were both kind of like, okay, let's just give it a shot, and if something happens, good. If not, we weren't really sure what we were gonna do at that point. Not saying that we weren't gonna try anymore, but maybe just wait a long time before we do. Because I mean, for me, like I felt a lot of like mental and like emotional pain, but she was going through that plus physical pain. I mean, I'm not trying to say she was all messed up, but she was struggling.
That was for a long time though.
Yeah, she struggled bad.
I literally hit rock bottom, depression, weight gain. Which I'm still trying to fight off, guys. That's why I'm not coming out in the video. she'll eventually come out on the videos, though. Don't worry.
But I mean, I'm not in shape myself, right? But I gotta come out on the videos. But anyway, so we decided to give it a shot for the last time, and for number 5. And I remember I would always tell her, because for those who want to know, it's just random fact, my favorite number is 5. I love number 5 ever since I was a little kid. I don't know why. And I would always tell her everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be my lucky number 5. And she was like, no, but all this stuff can happen. I'm like, it's okay, I'm just blocking all that in my mind, and it's gonna be lucky number 5, and here's lucky number 5. What can I say? That the pregnancy number 5 went perfect, literally.
Yes.
Like she had no bad symptoms, like from the beginning to the end. That pregnancy was perfect, and now that he's a year old, he's over a year. 14 months. We decided to come back and recreate these beautiful memories that we were supposed to have since the beginning. But there you go, a little bit more information about who we are, and maybe that kind of gives you guys a little bit more explanation on why I am the way I am, why I'm not all cocky and show-offy. And I think once you go through a lot of life lessons, you learn what's most important, and being a jerk and trying to act like you're all that is not one of them. So, and I gotta be an example for my little man over here. But with all that being said, we have another couple days here, and we're heading back to Texas, and it's time to get busy again. You guys are gonna start seeing a lot more videos. We'll get back to the 1 or 2 videos a week schedule. This time will probably be a lot more fun videos, considering that the Supra is done. And yeah, we'll go from there. See what 2021 brings us. 2020 was a big roller coaster, huge ups and downs. I'm focusing mainly on the positive stuff, so it's been a good year so far. But let us enjoy our view and catch you guys on the way back home. It's time to go home. Blink of an eye, a week goes by. That's crazy. So we got a long drive, about 13 hours to get home. It's 8:50 in the morning, so gonna get home pretty late. And considering it's a daytime drive, it's gonna be pretty hard for a big man over there. And the final stop before we head home. What's better than Buc-ee's? Right, baby?
Mm-hmm. Shirts and brisket sandwich.
Alright, now it's time to fill up, get some diesel, get some food, get some shirts, and we're heading home.
Yay!